This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer Interaction. You probably think I'm glad that Disney purchased Fox, seeing that now the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, are where they belong. And I'm not. Not really. Keep in mind, Fox has mismanaged the X-Men franchise. Sure, there have been some decent movies, but on the whole, they don't know what they're doing. Simon Kinberg does not write well for these movies, and I'm not saying he's a bad writer. I'm saying he doesn't write well for these movies, and they're just muddling from one movie to the next, for the most part. And I'm tired of that. Does that mean I want Disney to literally, well, almost literally rule the world? I do not. But having grown up on the X-Men and comics in general, I do not want them to be at Fox, and for that I'm glad. But as I said, I wish Disney weren't becoming this behemoth. And I don't think Bob Iger, who's their current chairperson, I believe, or CEO, some such thing, is a very good manager. He just buys stuff. Not difficult to do. I mean, to buy Marvel, it's like a no-brainer, for Christ's sakes. In fact, what surprises me is not that Disney brought Marvel, but that no one else did. Marvel was, relatively speaking, cheap, and they were going from success to success. Once again, it took no brains to do that. Bob Iger makes, and in general CEOs make way too much money to do virtually nothing. And before anyone credits him for being this incredible genius, you have to keep in mind something. How's Lucasfilm doing? He just buys stuff, and some of it doesn't go as planned. In any case, still glad that Fox has nothing to do with the X-Men. Well, I should say, I'm glad that the X-Men are back with Marvel Studios where they belong. And hopefully they'll wait a year or two for the stink to fade and bring them back. And speaking of stink, let's take a look at the final trailer for Dark Phoenix.
When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
We get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go!
Heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
Where is she?
She should be dead.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Why would they do that?
Who are you?
The better question is, who are you?
Something's happening to me. When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
That power destroyed everything it ever came into contact with. Until you. The X-Men fear you. And what they fear,
We seek to destroy.
She'll kill us all.
The girl dies. She's still our friend.
She's not Jean anymore.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
Well, that was certainly a better trailer than the prior ones. But it's at this point, it's kind of like throwing on a life preserver after the ship has sunk. I don't have any faith in Simon Kinberg. I don't have any faith in the X-Men franchise under Fox. And I'm just not expecting a lot. And as I mentioned earlier, why do they call her Phoenix? I mean, based on the trailer, it appears that she should have died in a shuttle accident. So a phoenix rising from the flame? I mean, hell, why not call her Lazarus? That would make a little more sense than Phoenix. But, you see, this is part of the problem. A small problem, but indicative of what's going on with the X-Men comics under Fox and Simon Kinberg. To call her Phoenix, rising from the flames, rising from the ashes, makes sense in the continuity in the universe of the comic books. Based on this trailer, it does not make sense. Why would you call her Phoenix for? In the comics, for those who are unfamiliar, Jean Grey is possessed by an entity, a cosmic entity known as the Phoenix. And she comes, because she originally, if I recall, begins life as Marvel Girl. I think it was Marvel Girl, not Phoenix. She becomes the Phoenix eventually. And Phoenix, in turn, becomes Dark Phoenix. So, Simon Kinberg had to write his way through this thicket. And I assume he got rid of the entire plot line from the comics that Phoenix is an alien force. Why do I say that's probably the case? Because you had to come up with a lame-ass reason for her to be called Phoenix. It's worth mentioning that Dark Phoenix was done already in X-Men The Last Stand, directed by Brett Ratner. That was the nadir of the X-Men franchise. It didn't work. Simon Kinberg, for whatever reason, is revisiting that with Dark Phoenix. Is he looking for redemption? Is he looking to get right what he screwed up? I don't know. And at this point, I don't care. This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer into Reaction. Peace.